Sean, good
Yes.
morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Did you practice your French after yesterday?
No, I
driving
need
range?
to still.
So the only thing I said, bonjour, comment allez-vous? And then he said, I'm fine, but move into English, please.
Thank you.
So many years ago,
Yeah.
I was a 20-year-old who went to Huntington Beach, and I spent 6 months of my life there. And that experience has never gone away. So it's my favorite part of the world, to be really honest with you.
Huntington Beach.
So you are born in California?
No, I'm actually born in Wisconsin, which is a long ways away, but I moved to California 30 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And your
My grandfather was born in Huntington Beach.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your first company you worked with, that was your own company?
Yes.
It was called Sevo Golf?
That's correct. Yep.
And what was their product? Was it clubs or was it?
Woods, irons,
Yes.
and putters and wedges.
Okay.
But it was all very advanced custom fitting.
Yes.
That was a long time ago, 1990.
It was way before its time, actually.
It was actually, yeah. It did great.
Okay. And then just a little timeline. So you were there for a few years, and then you started to work with TaylorMade?
I did, yep. So I spent all in about almost 21 years at TaylorMade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And then they always say you have a certain tattoo of a brand on your left chest, but
Right.
there's a chance there's gonna come another one on your right chest.
I hope so. It feels like it, yes, yes.
And somebody once told me the golf industry is a recycle business, so it doesn't matter if you come back with another brand or whatever. It's everybody loves the industry, and so how many years ago did you get on board with the Callaway team?
So I retired from TaylorMade in 2015.
Okay.
And then I have 3 sons.
Yes.
2 of them came to me and said, we'd like to start a putter company.
Oh, fantastic.
And so as we talked more, I said, we can do that, but if we're going to do it, it's got to be special. It's got to be different.
Okay.
Because the world doesn't need another something that's average. There's a lot of good things out there. But I really believe that the world will always accept something that's exceptional, something that's extraordinary.
Yes. Okay.
So if we're going to do this, and honestly, I want to design, build, manufacture, sell, market putters that are the very best milled putters in the world, which to me then meant they have to be better than Scotty Cameron, who does a wonderful job.
Yes.
And that has been our goal. That's been our journey. And I'm proud of the work that we've done. I feel like we're in a really good place.
And time flies. If you now look back at the last few years that are behind you,
yeah. So
are you happy with the growth you're making and the partnership with a brand under the flagship of Callaway?
Yeah, I am. And so when we started, we got off to a great start.
Yes.
Some of that was because the product was so beautiful. Some of it was because I've known a lot of people,
yes.
And they were willing to partner with us, which was great. And I'm very humbled and thankful for that. But about 15 months into selling putters, actually less than that, a year into shipping putters, we got a call from Callaway, and I met with the people at Callaway. Some I knew, some I didn't.
Yes.
And they bought our company and brought us in then to run all of Odyssey. So since that time, the growth of Toulon has exploded. Last year our sales were up 90%.
Wow.
So
90?
90.
Is that serious?
100% serious.
Okay, because back home we tend to say Americans like to exaggerate.
Yeah, this is no exaggeration.
So we would say 19 or 90?
Yeah, 90. That's a big
amazing.
Growth. Yeah, it's awesome. And we're going to have another big growth year, but it's already the second most played milled putter on professional tours worldwide. Number 2 selling now too.
Yes.
So.
And the milling facility, is that in California as well?
We do some, now mostly prototyping, and we've built an absolute state-of-the-art CNC super center in the middle of our supply chain in Asia. It's an amazing place.
Yeah.
When we started in California, we had 4 machines. When we began to do the work in Asia, we started out with 20.
Yes.
We're now over 50.
Oh, wow.
And just the quality
yes, and I can imagine.
My God, it's just so beautiful.
Of course, back in the days, I remember that people went to Coast Cast to get their castings for their hats.
Right.
that company has gone 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
And everything comes out of Asia. But the quality there nowadays is extremely good. And,
I would say a couple of things. Number one, to me, it's the best quality in the world. Number two, way more capability.
Yes.
So when we're looking to putters like this have always been sort of more emotion, more art, right?
Yes.
Which I think is an incredibly important part of it. But there also needs to be science. And the reason why I think we're having such growth is we've sort of connected the left brain and the right brain.
Yes.
So yes, let's make them just magnificently beautiful.
Yes.
And we're trying to create an emotion of almost lust.
Yes.
But now if we can bring new technology that really makes a difference to a golfer and really connect on more of a logical sense, the science part of it, that's where we've really seen this massive growth.
Yeah. So a few months ago we got a pack from Callaway to test the putters, and my putter fitter, he was really happy with the quality, and we tested it on our customers, and a lot of them really liked them and asked us if we could supply straight away. So one of the reasons I'm sitting here with you is I want to make your line the major line in our range of products.
That's so nice, thank you.
And then and what is really important to me is not only the quality, but also the partnership. So you have to work with people you can work with, and they think with you how they can support you with whatever. But it's a combination of a lot of things.
Agreed.
And we had a partner before that we had a few issues with clubs that were rusting, and they didn't took care of the complaints. So that's not good. So are there a few models for the new season, or is the existing line always good enough for now, or is there a few add-ons?
Nothing is ever good enough, right?
No.
So we're always, even with some of the the models that have endured over time.
Yes.
We look at them every day and figure out, maybe we could change this radius here, or bevel this edge a little bit different, or maybe marry it with a different hosel. So the lineup is, we have some models that have carried over, but literally I tweak them all the time because that's just who I am. But Austin and San Diego for blades, just beautiful, traditional style blades that many people have done. People would say, "Oh my God, that's just that's an Anser, or that's a Newport, or that's." And when you really look at them, I would say, yeah, maybe in spirit, but if you dig deep in, you see major changes. So those are beautiful, clean, classic blades.
And people like classic. It's what we grew up with. So I think
there's a comfort there.
If there's a comfort, absolutely.
It's important to have
not
those.
Make it too exotic.
And I agree with a lot of that. But it's also important to try to exercise your creativity a little bit too.
Yes.
But I think where people get in trouble, and I would agree with you on this, is I think a lot of companies try to do it because they're trying to do it as a marketing trick.
Yes. Okay.
And that doesn't work. And those are gimmicks. We don't want to do gimmicks.
What are your top 3 models?
So the San Diego blade is number 1. This one is Memphis, which is just a beautiful, smaller mallet, just incredibly clean, classic. That has been awesome for us.
Yes.
There's a new one that has won a lot. It's won a lot in Europe. Sergio has won with it. A bunch of guys have. Brendan Grace just won with it. Called Atlanta. It's kind of like this, but it's a square back.
Yes.
It's got a little bit more toe flow to it.
Okay.
That one has done great. This is a brand new model, bigger mallet for Seattle. We haven't done a lot of these before to get the inertia up. So that's something we're interested in. That's been great. And then this is another one.
Yes.
Which is, it's about 20 degrees, 15, 20 degrees of toe hang.
Yes.
So it'll have a little bit of rotation to it, but not much. But, sort of that classic heel toe shape, which I think is just beautiful.
Looks fantastic.
But it's a little shorter and a little wider. Spectacular.
Yes.
So,
super.
But we're going to continue to play in a higher MOI space and see what we have. We did one years ago called Indianapolis that I think the shape and the performance was great, but I never loved the sound. And that's if the sound isn't right, it's these putters, the sound and feel, I think is spectacular.
There's only one person that does not agree on that last sentence.
Who's that?
And that's Carsten Solheim.
You're right,
Because I'm reading his book right now. And he sent out his wife to visit the golf pros back in 1965.
Yes.
And she came back and she said, "Honey, the sound of the putter is terrible." And then he said, you should let them putt with it. And then they started to make sales.
Yeah. So
But time has changed, of
time
course.
has changed,
Yeah.
but it's also an interesting way to look at it. And there are paradigms you can challenge,
Yeah.
but you have to have performance, that is really, really easy for people to understand
Yes.
and recognize.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
if
you're
you
so
have that,
right.
and maybe he did then, I think he
Yes.
did, right?
Yeah, of
and he
course.
was able to overcome that. But anyways, we love what we're doing.
Okay. Do you ever visit Europe, or hardly ever?
No, I'd love to go to Europe, and I actually do once or twice a year. So
You have to visit the village of Toulon.
I've been close.
Yes.
We were. This was when I was at TaylorMade.
Okay.
We had an event in Nice.
Yeah.
So not too far from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a little village in the north of Scotland called Callaway.
Is it really? Well, we
Yes.
should go there too.
And my friend Tony Silverdale from Glasgow, he was the only person in 20 years' time when he was in the office with Eli Callaway
Really?
that he saw a little church on the wall, and he asked him, you are from Scotland, do you know what that church is? And he said, of course I know, it's the Callaway church in the village next door.
Eli
And the
knew.
guy said, and Eli said, gee, after 20 years you're the only guy that gives me this answer. No,
That's
but anyway,
awesome.
it would be nice if you come over to Europe, that you maybe stop for a day
We
in
would love to.
Amsterdam and
Love
do a
to.
customer day or something
Yeah, and
like
I've
that.
never been to Amsterdam, so I would love
So,
to do that.
you're my guest then.
I
if
would
you
love
want.
to. That'd
Thank
be
you so much.
fantastic. Thanks.
And,
Look forward to
yes, we'll do business together.
long-lasting, great relationship.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.